Divine Rising Wild Hearts. It is I, Kadara, your mindset and manifestation coach. And today we're going to be talking about those moments where we feel lost in our own body, where we feel like we have forgotten who we are, especially after incidents such as physical or sexual assault or abuse, verbal or energetic abuse or assault in the same ways. The reason why I have this tea set up here is because one of the practices I use when I'm actually working through feeling like I'm lost within my own body is drinking tea, because the tea or the liquid, whatever you choose to consume, will go down throughout your entire body, which is the internal journey, as well as I'm going to go over the external journey. So this is going to be something that you get to do where you can sit down or lie down or stand no matter where you are, and you will consume whatever drink you desire, and you'll be able to use your own hands or a crystal or a tool that resonates with you as you start to get to know your own body again. And it's a practice that you can do again and again and again any day in your life. For me, one of the first moments when I realized I actually felt lost in my own body, I remember I was first laying on the kitchen floor, and I had just finished a lot of missions in the military. I'd just come back from Afghanistan. I'd done multiple combat tours, and I didn't really know who I was anymore. You know, war and things like sexual assault when I was a kid, these things change you, and they kind of stack and pile on top of each other until we get to a point where we're actually in a safe enough space to work through these things, where we create our own sanctuary to heal and to grow and to learn and to flow back into the happiest and highest versions of ourselves. And I remember migrating from the kitchen floor, like laying on my back, to the bathroom where I just turned the shower water on and I was just laying in the shower. And I know some of that will resonate with some of you. There's times where we just lay in these spots and we just are consumed by the mundane, and the magical and the spiritual essence within us, it's flowing and it's always around us. We're just not as deeply connected to it. So let this be a space where you actually get to connect back to your magic. So what I have today in terms of tea is a lovely jasmine and peach tea. I can show you what it looks like. I've already letting it steep in this time period right now. And the steeping process is beautiful because steeping the tea is like steeping our life. You know, you pour the tea leaves in and you add the hot water and you just let it sit. It's an alchemical process, fermentation, or albedo for some people, the white purification phase, where we allow ourselves to just sit in the thing. So I have yours right here. So here's a tea for you. Do please enjoy and be mindful as it is warm. I have a tea for myself, and I will actually shift this to the side so that we can just be here and present with each other. And again, understanding that this process that we're about to go through is a process that you can pause at any time and reflect. I truly invite you to reflect when you get a moment. So when I'm going through this process of truly getting to know myself, I will first take a sip of tea with the intention of actually feeling the tea go throughout my body. So some people do it with conscious eating, some people do it with conscious consumption of liquids. So for me, it's tea. So I will cheers with you, with the intention of feeling the tea go through my body. Because when I consume tea, obviously I feel it in my mouth and my throat. And that throat area, that throat chakra, the throat energy is where we may not have said the things we wanted to say. There are a lot of things I didn't say when I was a child, when I was abused in the different ways I was. I didn't speak up for myself. I was a child. I was afraid. My life was ruled by fear, whether it be my parents or other adults. I was afraid to speak up. I was afraid because I would get beat when I spoke up. And now I'm in a space where I get to speak up for myself now and my inner child and the happiest, highest version of myself. So if you're drinking something right now, which I do invite you to do, and you've consumed that liquid and you feel it in your throat, I invite you to pause and think about what's coming up for you when you think of the things you haven't said, especially when it comes to feeling lost in your own body. Because I was taken advantage of at such a young age, I didn't really know my body. I was 11 years old when my sacredness was taken from me. And throughout the span of my life, I would hide that, and I would be embarrassed when I would be in spaces in high school and college and the army where people would talk about when they lost their virginity. I would try to bypass it. I didn't want to be the one that was like, I lost it when I was 11 because, did I really lose my virginity? It was taken from me. Is that the same thing? I didn't want to be judged. So I would just try to be the person. And when it would go around and people would talk, I would completely divert the conversation. Now I'm, of course, in a space where I'm able to talk about these things because I've processed them. I've forgiven myself and released that energy. And I'm super excited to support you all on that journey as well. This is what I really am committed to, is supporting people on the inner work, whether it be inner child reparenting, shadow work, whatever it may be, light work, whatever form of mindset shifts that we get to have that also allow our bodies to move and flow as well. Because this body, this temple, this vessel, it feels everything. It feels the tea that's in me because the tea is moving through my blood. It's moving through my veins, it's moving through my muscles, it's moving through my bones. It is flowing with me. So you get to shake these things off as they pass through your throat and the rest of your body. So feel the tea as it goes into your stomach, and know that your stomach and your gut, which your gut is one of the first things formed. Your gut forms before your brain does, something a lot of people may not know. And when I learned that, I was like, wow, and this is why they say trust your gut instinct, because your gut had already formed and your gut was learning things when you were in the womb. So when I consume tea, when we consume, this tea goes past my throat into my gut. My gut knows what my body has been through since I was in the womb. So trust your gut when your gut says, hey, this is what's coming up. Don't deny the thoughts that come to your head. The whole purpose of mindset coaching and mindset growth is to be honest with yourself. I know there were many times in my life where something would pop in my mind and I would be like, no, 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 don't want to think about that. I don't want to gaslight, or did that really happen? It doesn't matter whether I feel like it happened or not. It's a thought that's in my mind, and I get to feel it. I get to feel what it feels like to think that thought. What comes up for me? What areas of my life is it affecting? And as I move beyond my gut and you move throughout the rest of your body, we're going to go external for this next bit of it. I'm going to go external because the internal part could take a very long time. And you get to pause and just feel through it. And I invite you that if you do pause at some point, to journal and write out what's coming up for you. So again, as that liquid is going through your throat and it's going beyond your heart, what do you feel in your heart when you're drinking tea or whatever you're consuming? What do you feel in your gut? What do you feel in your feet? What do you feel in your fingertips? And I'm talking about the inside. If you literally take your hands and hold them about this far apart from each other, if you hold your hands about 6 inches apart from each other, and you just close your eyes and you focus on your heartbeat, you will be able to feel your heart beating in your hands, and eventually you'll be able to feel a ball of energy between your hands, 6 inches apart. And if you don't feel it, you can always move your hands a little bit closer together, but slowly. And eventually you'll feel that energy and you'll feel resistance. And as you start to pull apart, you feel even more resistance. That is your energy. That is your psi energy, an energy ball, whichever you'd like to call it. But it is a form of energy that's within you that you're able to hold on to. And that energy is supported and grows and is strengthened through you doing the inner work. So you can drink tea and feel the tea moving in that energy ball. Just like anything you consume, all foods interact with and align with and grow and flow with and can hinder your energy field, your heart space, your magnetic field. We talk about manifestation and being magnetic. Well, when you're consuming things that don't allow your magnetic field to expand or to be strengthened, then it hinders your manifestation capabilities in some way, shape, or form. So as I said, now we're going to go to the external. And the external part of this aspect of feeling like you're lost in your own body, is if you don't know who you are and desiring to heal, is one of the slowest practices I've ever done for myself. And I'm consistently doing it because I get better with it every time that I do it. And it's literally finding a space and a place in your home, in your room, wherever it may be, that you can just listen to some form of music or silence, whichever resonates with you. And I would recommend you turn the lights off if it's easier for you and it's something where you don't feel as safe to view yourself in the mirror or see yourself, period. And I invite you to literally just take your hand or a crystal or something that allows you to feel more in tune with yourself and more grounded in the universe. And you would just take that item, and I'll even use this cup that I have, my teacup, or your fingers, and I just go along each finger, along the top parts of every finger from the nail all the way down to the end of that finger, or the beginning of the finger in this case, including my thumb. And I would do it on the insides as well. Inside of my palms, you would do the inside of every finger, and you'll feel different tingling sensations as you're doing this, which is normal. And you would do this throughout your entire body. Slow practice. This isn't something to be rushed. I rushed it the first couple times I did it. Like, I was moving really fast. I was like, I'm not feeling anything. And of course I'm not feeling anything. It's because I wasn't allowing myself to feel. And you would go over both hands. You would go over both of your palms, both of your wrists, both of the top of your hand, and a motion that's slow, whether you're sitting or standing. And you're tuning into those tingling sensations. You're tuning into when it may feel awkward. You're tuning into where you feel the disconnection. And again, it's not always going to be in your hands or on your arms. It's just, I start there. Because once I've cleared and worked through my fingers, it allows me to go through the rest of my body to where I can just go and just feel. You know, you're going to go over the heart space. I touch my heart and I hold it there sometimes. And it's like, I'm feeling this heaviness in my heart, feeling a heaviness in my chest. You know, maybe it's your back, maybe it's your shoulders, maybe it's your wrists. You know, you're going to go all the way down along your legs, all the way down to your toes. You would actually touch every toe. Because when we feel lost in our body, there's some part of us within us that is disconnected. And it could be the ring toe on your left foot. And you wouldn't know unless you were actually open to discovering that part of yourself. So this is not just exploration. This is reconnection. This is you channeling the ability to know thyself. This is you surrendering to you. It's so easy to surrender to other people sometimes, but this is surrendering to you, allowing you to know you, especially if something was taken from you at a young age or where you are now. It can feel like you've lost a deep part of yourself. And this is a way to find it again. And wherever you feel that tingling sensations or whenever you feel that numbness, write it down in the moment or afterwards, and just be like, in my left wrist, I felt this numbing feeling when I did it, and it just felt off, and I don't know why. Remember, the body keeps the score. The body remembers everything since we were in the womb. It may be that someone grabbed your wrist in a way that didn't feel safe for you when you were 3 years old. It could be someone kept poking you in the back and bullying you in a specific spot. These things that we're going through, these moments of feeling and getting to know the body, it's very crucial to actually feel each part of you, because there's a difference between your right shoulder at the top, your right shoulder at the back, your right shoulder in your front, 2 inches from where your finger was. This practice is where you can take 20 minutes of your day. Can you imagine taking 20 to 30 minutes of your day to feel through anything that may still be lingering in your life so that you can reclaim your power, tap back into your magic, start to manifest from a space of, this is who I know myself to be? Oh, I say, let's get it, let's go on that one. Like, I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. I hope this is landing and resonating for you. Resonating being the aspect of allowing myself to connect to myself. And sometimes it can be through song. Sometimes I sing to myself. Sometimes I let myself be free. Sometimes I open up my eyes, and what do I see? I see me. Resonating through your vocals, using your throat in a way you may not have used it before. And it's not about having the perfect voice, it's about loving your vibration. All our voice is the vibration. I love my vibration, therefore I sing into my body. So my body knows I am present with you right now. And as you've gone through and you've done that internal journey with the tea or whatever you're consuming, and you've gone through the external journey and you've written things down, that is the moment where you get to go back. And if you don't sense anything, it doesn't mean you did something wrong. It just may mean in that moment you weren't able to sense something. And you can do it again in a day or a week or a month. I just really invite you to surrender to yourself in the moment. And again, make sure you're in a safe space to process the things that come up. This is something I feel a lot of people don't mention about being in the safe space. People are like, do the work, do the work, do the work. If you're doing the work and you're about to go into some deep inner child thing that happened to you when you were 5 years old, and it's going to break you momentarily until you can piece yourself back together, make sure you have the support around you, whether it be your tea, your music, your flowers, your essential oils, a human, your fur baby. Have some form of support mentally for yourself and physically, externally, outside of you. Because these invisible wounds that we carry that no one else can see, they slow us down so much, like molasses, like tar, like quicksand. It's like literally walking through quicksand. You're not sinking the whole time, but you're really sinking slow. And it starts to impact the other areas of our life. So this is why I love doing this practice of getting to know myself when I feel like I'm lost within my own body. And that's just the body. Imagine being lost within your own mind and not even knowing what's real and what's not real, what's truth, what's the illusion. Sometimes that can be just as powerful. And that's definitely another conversation that I get to do in this space. And for now, we're going to allow your surrender to just be. We're going to allow the surrender to simply be. And as this podcast episode, this YouTube video, this space, this transmission comes to a closing right now, I invite you to continue your journey after this. Again, you've given almost 20 minutes of your time to just listening. Imagine the next 20 to 30 minutes just being present, just flowing, just getting to know your fingers, getting to know your strands of hair, getting to know your ears. Again, that practice is all over your body. You're going to touch your forehead and your eyebrows, your nose. You're going to touch your lips, your mouth, your chin, your neck, your throat, the back sides of everything. You're going to massage through your head because there could be something traumatic stored in this back right middle part of your head. And I'm so grateful that you joined me on this journey. It truly means a lot to me. So I say again, let's get it, let's go. Many blessings. Enjoy your tea. Enjoy your journey. It's a journey when it's by yourself. It's an adventure when we do it together. So thank you for joining me on this adventure. And I'm excited for you in your journey of getting to know and reclaim your power. Gonna take a deep breath in together. Holding it at the top. Reprogramming our nervous system just to surrender, to remember who we are and what we've come to do. Audible exhale. And with that, I send you many blessings and blessings as this divine rising is flowing. We get to do this with grace, joy, and ease, all while in the flow of love. Let's get it, let's go. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out.